The rain poured down in silvery sheets over downtown Chicago, turning the city lights into shimmering blurs. Marcus Thompson moved quickly through the slick sidewalks, his hand tightly holding that of his 7-year-old daughter, Lily. At 35, Marcus knew these streets like the back of his hand. He had learned every shortcut, every side path that could shave minutes off their nightly walk home from Lily's dance class. Lily, wrapped in her little yellow raincoat, hopped through puddles beside him, chatting excitedly about her recital routine. Marcus smiled faintly, but his mind was elsewhere, running through the usual checklist. Did they have milk, bread? Could he skip the grocery store tonight? They turned down a narrow alley, one that cut right through to their block. The shortcut had always been safe enough, but tonight something felt different. Ahead, half hidden in the rain, sat a figure slumped against the brick wall. Marcus slowed immediately. His instincts sharpened, the kind every single father learns to trust. He shifted Lily behind him, his palm tightening around her small hand. As they got closer, he saw her clearly now, a woman in a soaked, light blue business suit sitting awkwardly on the cold pavement. Her blonde hair clung to her cheeks, her phone trembling in her hands. She looked frightened. "Daddy, that lady looks hurt," Lily whispered, her voice full of concern. Marcus hesitated. Every part of him wanted to keep walking, to protect Lily from whatever trouble this was. But then he caught the pain etched across the woman's face, the helplessness in her eyes. This wasn't danger. It was desperation. Please! The woman's voice cracked as she looked up, rain streaking her face. Please don't hurt me. I think my ankle's broken. I can't walk. Marcus's heart clenched. She wasn't just injured, she was terrified. Alone, vulnerable, and unsure whether the strangers approaching her meant harm or help. He crouched slowly, keeping Lily close behind. "Ma'am, it's okay," he said softly, meeting her eyes. "We're not here to hurt you. My name's Marcus, and this is my daughter Lily. You look like you need help." The woman swallowed hard, her voice trembling. "I was heading to my car and my heel got caught in a grate. I fell and heard something snap. My phone's almost dead and I can't put any weight on it." Marcus nodded, his mind already racing for what to do next, because the rain was falling harder, and this night had just taken a turn neither of them expected. Marcus knelt beside her, his eyes catching the swelling already forming around her ankle. One look and he knew it wasn't just a sprain. Years of coaching kids soccer had taught him what a bad injury looked like, and this was one of them. "Okay," he said calmly, trying to steady his voice for both her and Lily. "We're going to get you some help." He turned to his daughter. "Lily, sweetheart, remember what we practiced? I need you to call 911. Lily's face grew serious in an instant. She took his phone carefully, just like he'd taught her. Marcus watched her small fingers dial the numbers and speak clearly, her little voice steady in the rain. For a 7-year-old, she was remarkably composed. Meanwhile, Marcus shrugged off his jacket and crouched lower beside the woman. "I'm going to slide this under your head so you're not sitting right on the wet ground, okay?" he said gently. She nodded weakly, shivering. He slipped the jacket beneath her shoulders and noticed her wrist, a delicate, expensive watch. Her designer handbag rested beside her, soaked but unmistakably high-end. Whoever she wasn't used to being on the ground like this, alone, cold and scared. "What's your name?" he asked, keeping his tone light, conversational, as he tried to distract her from the pain. "Alexandra," she said after a breath. "Alexandra Sterling." Her voice trembled, though Marcus couldn't tell if it was from pain, cold, or shock. "The ambulance is coming, Daddy," Lily called, holding the phone tightly. Then, in that simple way only children can, she added, "The lady said we did the right thing by helping." Alexandra looked at Lily, eyes softening with surprise. "You're very brave, sweetheart." Most people would have walked by. Lily blinked up at her. "Daddy says that's when people need help the most, when nobody else stops." That earned the faintest smile from Alexandra, one that quickly disappeared as she winced in pain. Marcus stayed close, keeping her talking, keeping her awake. The rain still fell hard, but he did his best to shield both her and Lily beneath his shoulders. "Do you have someone I can call for you?" he asked gently. "A family member? Friend?" Alexandra gave a short, hollow laugh. "Family? I have—" "Employees, associates, people who need things from me. But I don't know if anyone would come just because I was hurt." Her words hit Marcus harder than he expected. That kind of loneliness, he knew it too well. He'd lived it once back when it was just him and Lily against the world. "What do you do?" he asked, half to keep her talking, half out of real curiosity. Alexandra drew a shaky breath, her lips parting as sirens began to echo faintly. The faint wail of sirens grew louder, echoing off the narrow alley walls. Alexandra took a shaky breath, brushing the wet hair from her face. "I'm the CEO of Sterling Technologies," she said quietly. "I was working late, again, and walking to my car in the parking garage when I fell. I've closed million-dollar deals, handled crises that would make most people crack. But apparently, I can't even make it across a parking lot without falling apart." Marcus caught the frustration in her tone, but what struck him more was the vulnerability behind it. She wasn't angry, she was embarrassed. "Ma'am," he said gently, "having an accident doesn't mean you're falling apart. It just means you're human. Everyone needs help sometimes." Her eyes softened, as if those were words she hadn't heard in a very long time. Moments later, flashing red and blue lights painted the wet alley. The paramedics arrived, quickly assessing her injury and thanking Marcus and Lily for staying. "You did exactly the right thing," one of them said as they lifted Alexandra onto the stretcher. As they prepared to take her to the hospital, Alexandra suddenly reached out and caught Marcus's hand. "Wait, please!" Her grip was surprisingly strong for someone so shaken. "I don't even know your last name. But you stayed when you could have just kept walking. Can I have your contact information? I want to thank you properly, when I'm not sitting in an alley." Marcus hesitated. He didn't help people to be thanked. But something in her voice, a quiet sincerity, made him nod. "It's Thompson," he said. "Marcus Thompson." He handed her his number, honestly not expecting to ever hear from her again. 3 days passed. Then, one afternoon, Marcus's phone buzzed with an unknown number. "Hello?" "Marcus, it's Alexandra," came the familiar voice. "I wanted to let you know, my ankle was broken, but it's going to heal fine. More importantly, I just wanted to thank you and Lily for stopping that night." "I've been thinking about it ever since." Marcus smiled faintly. "I'm just glad you're okay. Anyone would have done the same thing." There was a pause, and then Alexandra's voice turned quiet, almost pained. "No, Marcus, they didn't," he frowned. "What do you mean?" "The security footage from the parking garage," she said. "It showed 7 people walking past me before you stopped. 7. They saw me sitting there, hurt, scared, and they just kept going. Because it was inconvenient. Because it wasn't their problem." Her voice cracked slightly before she continued. "Sitting there that night, I realized something. I've spent 15 years building a company, chasing success, and collecting things that look like a good life. But not once did I stop to build the kind of life where anyone would stop for me. I don't have a real community, or friends I can call when I'm hurting. And I definitely don't have the kind of bond with my daughter that you clearly have with Lily." The line went quiet for a moment, but the weight of her words lingered, heavier than the rain had been that night. "You have a daughter?" Marcus asked softly. "Yes," Alexandra said, her voice small, almost ashamed. "Her name's Sophia. She's 8. She lives mostly with her father, my ex-husband. I work 80-hour weeks. I tell myself it's for her future, but I haven't been a real parent in years." Her words cracked, trembling on the edge of guilt and realization. "That night in the alley," she continued, "I kept thinking, if something worse had happened, if I hadn't been found, Sophia wouldn't have even heard it from me. Some lawyer or assistant would have told her. That's what I've become. And that's not the legacy I want to leave." Marcus didn't say anything right away. He just listened, the way people do when they understand more than they admit. Over the next few months, something unexpected began to grow between them. What started as a thank you call turned into occasional check-ins, then coffee, then genuine friendship. Alexandra had meant what she said about changing her life, and she started by asking Marcus for advice, real, practical advice about being present for a child. It was strange at first, a wealthy CEO turning to a single father for guidance. But Marcus had what money couldn't buy: time, empathy, and experience. He taught her small things, how to really listen, how to make ordinary moments matter, how to show up even when life was messy. In return, Alexandra used her resources to help Marcus, not out of pity but partnership. She connected him with better job opportunities that offered flexibility, helped him find programs for single parents, and eventually invited him to manage community outreach for Sterling Technologies' new family wellness initiative. The changes weren't just professional, they were deeply personal. Alexandra began rebuilding her bond with Sophia S.L.